Woo! It's FSU weather, folks. Happy Monday, happy Halloween. We're going to start with a live look at Doak. Beautiful sun in the sky. Folks, great weather for trick-or-treating. I know everybody's excited for Halloween tonight. That great weather to 80 degrees, mostly sunny. Those great conditions are going to continue into the night. As we can see with our radar, we have some scattering. It could be anything from birds, insects, not really weather, but it could be some supernatural forces affecting us here on Halloween. If you're going out tonight, again, trick-or-treating, having fun, it's going to be 57, a little bit cooler than we've been seeing, so maybe bring a jacket, but it's going to be really great conditions to celebrate this wonderfully fun holiday. For tonight's headlines, we're going to be taking a look at Halloween. We're going to spice up our weather with some spooky weather trivia, and we're going to bring you the latest on Tropical Storm Lisa. All that and more on FSU weather.
Happy Halloween, Tallahassee. I hope everyone is having a spooktacular day. When I woke up this morning and I saw that fog, I knew it was going to be a really great day. The vibes for Halloween started off really good. That spooky fog actually made me, it was actually blood-curdling, honestly. And so if you guys are planning on trick-or-treating today, it looks like it's going to be an amazing night for that. So you trick-or-treaters out there are going to be in for a treat. And we're going to have some nice clear skies tonight, and it's going to be really fun. So I hope you guys enjoy the night and have a happy Halloween. Now we're going to pass it off to Nikki for a look at our local.
Yes, happy Halloween, everyone. Looking over a beautiful sun over Doak Campbell Stadium. We are just seeing absolutely gorgeous day today, 80 degrees and sunny. You couldn't ask for better weather for this holiday. We are seeing a light breeze as well. Currently, we are seeing, as I said, around 80 degrees, 81 here. Seeing a little bit of a warmer spot in Madison, 84, but overall, high 70s. We're just seeing, honestly, just a gorgeous day outside, sunny, not many clouds, so great on that for this spooky holiday. Tonight, our current dew points we are seeing, there's a little bit of a Gulf breeze, so it's a little bit more moist down here, so we're seeing a little bit moisture conditions, but just green overall. Great time. Great day overall. We are just seeing, as I said, that breeze coming up from the Gulf and a little bit of a land breeze in Tallahassee, just a light breeze, just absolutely gorgeous. Hour by hour, you know, at seasonal temperatures, we're starting off a little bit cooler in the morning, and then as the day goes on, we're just going up to around 82 degrees, just super mild, super great for us Floridians. You know, usually it's a little too hot, but now it's just perfect outside. So we are just seeing a beautiful clear radar. Tonight for trick-or-treating, we should be seeing some more of the same. And when you go out tonight, it should just, you know, be clear and just a great night to take your kids out or just hang out tonight. I'll be hanging out outside probably. It's just a great night, no rain to be seen as far as right now. Future, we are also seeing more for tonight, you know, just absolutely gorgeous skies, as I said before. We are just going to have a great Halloween, get some candy in there, you know. For tonight, we're just going to see just really, the whole area we're going to be seeing low 60s, even into the 50s in Bainbridge in the Georgia area. And so, you know, maybe if your kids are a little chilly, put on a jacket with your Halloween costume, or, you know, just enjoy the evening temperatures. For the day planner forecast for tomorrow, we are going to be seeing just the slightest chance of rain in the morning, but as the day goes on, of course, it will be heating up to around 80 degrees. But, you know, not too much of an increase, so you should be fine wearing anything tomorrow. For the local forecast, we are seeing just around the same as today, so it should be a gorgeous night. And we are seeing just around the same temperatures, maybe even on Sunday going into 87 degrees, but I'm going to pass things off to Nicholas.
Thank you, Nikki. Taking a look around Florida for now, it's actually looking really beautiful for most of the state. Down here in Miami, clear skies all throughout. Up here in Tampa, same deal. Panama City Beach looking gorgeous as well. Clear skies and sunny and sun out there right now. So our current temperatures, things are looking pretty warm for the peninsula. Down in Miami, it's 84, and it actually follows that trend for mostly for all the way up north to the rest of the state, everything's hovering in the mid to low 80s, except Pensacola, which is a little bit cooler at 75. Our current dew points, right now the state is actually a little bit more moist than it was the last few weeks. Here in Tallahassee, we were enjoying dew points in the low 40s and 50s, but things have started to get a little bit more muggy and more humid as moisture is moving into the area. So we got dew points in the 60s in northern Florida and 70s in southern Florida, with Pensacola having the lowest dew point at 59, so things are a little bit drier over to the west. But our satellite and radar shows that, like we saw in the live looks, there really isn't that much precipitation or anything popping up right now. The only showers we can see right now are over here in Palm Beach County, popping up right, and some showers off the coast of Titusville popping up, but doesn't serve as any threat to the mainland. And for our 72-hour rainfall forecast, we don't expect much precipitation, just some light rain for from Gainesville all the way down south to Miami. And for a look at Miami right now, temperatures are going to be pretty warm, 88 on Tuesday, and it's going to drop a little bit to 85 on Thursday when there is a 40% chance of rain. As for Tampa Bay, temperatures are also going to be pretty warm in the 80s, but then they also drop off just a little bit onto Thursday. And as for Orlando, the temperatures are also really, really hot, 89 on Tuesday. But you're going to see a slight decrease in temperature as that rain is going to push through on Wednesday. There's a 40% chance. And then it actually cools off a little bit on Thursday with 84, but still pretty warm temperatures for what we're seeing here in early November now that actually it is. So in Jacksonville, 85 is actually going to go down to 77 on Thursday, and there won't be any we don't see any chance of rain going through, low chances. And for Pensacola, things are actually going to heat up unlike the rest of the state, starting off at 79 degrees, and then on Wednesday and Thursday, 81 degrees, but they can see clear skies, very low chance of rain at 10%. And for tonight's forecast, it's going to be beautiful, guys. There's not much rain in the forecast, so we can see going to have clear skies going through, temperatures in the mid to low 70s. And for tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be pretty hot in the upper 80s for most of the state. Now I'm going to pass it off to Ale for a look at the southeast.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. Yeah, so folks, we're going to zoom out for y'all, take a look at our great southeast. I know everybody tonight is quite busy trick-or-treating and all of that. It's Halloween, and these temperatures are looking great for us. So it is in the 70s, a little bit cooler in Montgomery at 65, a lot toastier down in the Florida Peninsula in the 80s. But for the most part, it's just going to stay relatively nice in those conditions for the week. When we're looking at our radar, we do see some showers up in North Carolina and even in Virginia, those strong storms, some convection down here in Miami. But for the most part, for us in Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, it's looking nice and clear. That water vapor agreeing with that. We do have some moisture up here for us in the southeast, but actually the Florida Peninsula is having a little bit of a dry spell in the actual part, like this middle part of the peninsula. That's a little bit unusual, but that heat index is going to be showing again just some 80s for us in the Florida Peninsula, 89 in Orlando, getting a little bit cooler as you get higher up into the southeast, with 65 in Nashville, 67 in Memphis, and just mostly 70s across the board. Wind speed and direction, we have some light breezes for most of the southeast, 3 miles per hour, 7 miles per hour in Little Rock. Really nothing to note, nothing too strong, a little bit stronger here actually in Orlando. But again, just no true strong wind gusts. So folks, if you're going out tonight, it won't be too windy. For that humidity, we're seeing a lot of humidity actually here in Charlotte at 93. We did see some storms there, so that just kind of coincides with that storms that they're seeing there. But for most of us in the southeast, it's quite nice for that humidity level, very seasonable for us. It's actually almost November. Looking at these storms, as I said, we are seeing some scattered storms for us in the South Carolina and Northern Carolina, and a little bit down here in the Florida Peninsula. And that's going to change a little bit. For day 2, we're going to see it focus a little bit more on the coast in Raleigh, near Raleigh. So folks, don't worry, it's just non-severe storms, so you don't really have to worry about maybe any strong tornado threats. But for the next 48 hours, just going to be seeing some storms moving off the coast, a lot of convection here in the Florida Peninsula, but the southeast is going to be staying relatively clear. So that's really good for folks looking forward into the week. 72-hour rainfall agreeing with that SPC outlook. Remember how it showed some non-severe threats, so we are going to be seeing some rain up here. And in Florida, some stronger rain towards the west coast, but nothing to write home about, folks. Just watch out for any pop-up storms. Tonight's forecast looking great for anybody who's deciding to go outside. Great conditions, a little bit cooler, great temperatures in my opinion. But folks, maybe bring a jacket if you're going to go trick-or-treating, if you're going to be celebrating Halloween. A little bit toastier in the Florida Peninsula, a little bit warmer. See down in Miami at 78. Savannah, Georgia, the spookiest town in the southeast, showing 80s across the board, some nice 70s, really great conditions. And tomorrow's forecast, again, just these nice 70s, a little bit higher 80s as you get into the Florida Peninsula, but just great conditions overall. And you know, Aaron, I'm really wondering, how is it looking at the National?
Honestly, the National is looking spectacular this Halloween here as we go on through the rest of your evening here across much of the nation, with temperatures remaining down into the mid-60s as you go towards the nation's heartland there. 68 degrees over in Denver and 69 degrees over in Kansas City. Over the East Coast, we're a little bit cooler, up to about 63 degrees in Detroit. And then over into Boston, we're sitting in the lower 60s down over in the coast. We actually have a dry air mass coming into place here across the northern portions of the plains here. So Kansas City, we're seeing that bone dry conditions there, 32 in Kansas City, 33 in Bismarck. And then down in our neck of the woods, we're sitting pretty moist and humid up near 66 degrees. So pretty, certainly pretty spooky there temperatures there for your Halloween forecast tonight. As for our water vapor loop here, we have that swirl going on here near Chicago. That's where we have that upper level low pressure area. And what that's doing is bringing that cold front behind it, and with that drier air over towards the plains. And we actually have our next system coming in from the west coast here. So over towards Portland, Billings, we're seeing those upper level clouds making their way over towards the northern portions, or at least near the Canadian border. So our national surface map here, we have that low pressure here over near the Great Lakes there. We have that cold front being drawn out off to the south of it. And then we also have another area of low pressure too near our area, which won't provide too much in the way of any rain, but we might see some clouds here, especially some fog overnight tonight after you go trick-or-treating with kids tonight. So drought monitor, we're seeing mostly dry conditions, especially across much of the nation's heartland there. We're sitting actually with an exceptional drought there over in Kansas and into Oklahoma there, where it's been very dry. They haven't had much in the way of precipitation over the last few weeks or so. That's what's contributing to that drought forecast as well. And of course, with that, we have the increased risk of fire weather, so do watch out if you are planning to burn anything tonight. And then same story as for our friends out over to California there, near the San Joaquin Valley, where there is also still an extreme drought there too. And as for Tallahassee here, we're actually starting to get into a bit of a moderate drought across the Big Bend, a little bit more in the way of severe drought as you go into the Panhandle here, where we haven't seen much in the way of rain really, or at least any substantial rainfall since September. So we're sitting pretty dry here across much of the area. As for our storm outlook, most of that storms should stay off towards the coastal area, so the Carolinas down over into South Florida potentially might see perhaps a rumble or a thunder or two tonight. So we'll have to watch out. Perhaps might need to bring an umbrella with you when you're going out trick-or-treating. And then the only place where we actually do see somewhat of any risk of severe weather is down towards the southern portions of Texas there near Brownsville, where you might see perhaps maybe perhaps a more stronger storm there or two. Active alerts across the country, most of them are staying off towards the west coast, where we have more of that drier air in place. But as we zoom over towards the further off to the Pacific coast, we have those winter weather advisories inland near the Cascades down to the Sierra Nevadas here. We actually have an advisory, at least for the California-Nevada border, and then the warnings, of course, for more of the upper peaks there of the Sierra Nevadas. And then we also have those high wind warnings, or I should say watches and advisories down towards really the lower 2/3 of Nevada there. And as for our satellite and radar, for the most part, we're remaining pretty clear across the nation's heartland. That's where we need the rain, really. So if we can bring some of that moisture in from the east coast, that would be really preferred. But unfortunately, that will continue off towards the east here as we go out through the rest of this evening. Tomorrow's forecast, we're going to see that warm up here across much of the nation's heartland there. and will stay much, at least into the 70s. But now I'll turn things over to the desk.
Thank you, Aaron. So yeah, in the spirit of Halloween, we're going to be having some fun tonight, and we're going to be tackling some spooky weather trivia. And I'm not sure how we're going to do yet. Full disclosure, me and Aaron have not looked at this before, and we do not know the answers. So it's going to be pretty interesting whether we do well or not. What do you think?
We'll have to see, though, because honestly, I do not know much about Halloween trivia, at least in terms of weather. So we'll have to go ahead and find out. So where did the Halloween blizzard of 1991 occur? Do you know the answer for that?
1991. Well, I have no idea. I've never heard of the Halloween blizzard. I know 1991 was the year of the perfect storm, so I'd say the New England region is probably where it occurred.
Honestly, I probably have to agree with you on that. It's probably going to be somewhere in the, at least I'm thinking Great Lakes or New England area as well. So we'll have to see what that is. And I guess we'll have answers here.
Okay,
so either Canada, the Rockies, the Midwest, or Venus. What do you think?
So my answer is obviously not there, so I'm going to say the Rockies.
Honestly, I'll have to go with Venus. No, I'm just kidding. I'll go with the Midwest. So let's see what it is. Okay, C, it's the Midwest. Okay. So the Halloween blizzard occurred in 1991 that dropped 3 feet of snow and 2 inches of ice across parts of the Midwest, and 23 million people were impacted.
True or false? Women are more likely to get struck by lightning. I'm going to say false. I don't see any reason why a certain gender would be more likely to get. Actually, I would say men are more likely to get struck by lightning because they're probably doing more work outside or something like that.
That's certainly possible. I mean, if you're a heavy golfer, then perhaps you might basically be sticking a metal pull-up in the air most of the time. So I'd honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. So false. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, men are 4 times more likely to be struck by lightning. That's actually quite a bit more than women. It's pretty scary, actually.
We'll have to watch out then tonight in case there's a stray lightning bolt.
Yeah. Where is the biggest desert on Earth located? Biggest desert. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's Antarctica.
Honestly, that's actually a pretty good trick question there. I also agree it's probably Antarctica just because it's really dry over there. What to see? Antarctica, yes.
Let's go.
Okay, it's Antarctica. So make sure to bring that. Make sure not only to bring that water with you, but also to make sure you are bundled up there in Antarctica.
What is a warm wind that comes from the ocean called? A warm wind. So from the ocean, I would think a sea breeze, but something that's warm, I'm not really sure.
Honestly, I don't know. I would probably just call it a warm wind, but I really don't know. Let's take a look. At Chinook.
Chinook, okay.
Oh, I thought it was in the mountains, but
yeah.
Okay. And we'll just go ahead, skip ahead to the last slide there. So anyways, that's enough of our Halloween trivia. We'll have to take things over to the wall with Ali.
Thank you so much, Aaron. Yeah, so guys, we're going to get a little bit serious here. I know that trivia was really nice and all, but we do have a big update in the tropics, folk. Tropical Storm Lisa formed recently, and we're going to be taking a look at that right now. So our tropical overview, we are seeing a 10% chance of development in the next 5 days, but we have Lisa swirling angrily down there. She is mad that people are even thinking about trick-or-treating tonight. She wants to wreak some havoc. Again, that development chance really low, not really looking for like any really big like potential storms coming up for this invest right here. But for Lisa right down here, she is swirling and she is mad. And one of the reasons why she is so mad is because these sea surface temperatures, folks, that is one of the biggest factors for hurricane development. And this storm right now is sitting right in the warmest pocket in the Caribbean. So it does have really favorable chances for increasing. It is expected to become a hurricane before it impacts Central America, but hopefully some factors that we're going to be talking about a little bit later on will potentially decrease that chance for maximum potential intensity. So that wind shear can really cause a lot of instability in a hurricane. When you have 2 different directions at 2 different pressure levels, it's going to cause a lot of instability and ruin that structure of the hurricane. You can see right now that swirling, that little circle right there, that pocket, that's Lisa. We are seeing some wind shear, but for the most part, it's not really being impacted too intensely, which again is helping the intensity of that hurricane, is helping its formation. However, this dry patch right here, north of Tropical Storm Lisa, is actually going to hinder its development a little bit. So it hasn't really been able to have that explosive strengthening that we've seen a lot for storms in the Caribbean. We all remember Ian. That dry air is going to be choking it a little, maybe keeping that intensity down, but we just really don't know because that sea surface temperature is just so high. Really worried for these folks in Central America. They recently had a storm pass through, and it's looking like they might have another one. Future radar showing not really much happening else in the Gulf. Tropical storm Lisa right down there. Again, normal showers for most of the United States, but we're really focusing on the tropics right now. The 72-hour rainfall these next 3 days, you're going to be seeing that dark red popping up. It's coinciding with when Lisa is expected to make landfall in Central America. So they're expecting just a lot of rain, potential destruction. You guys really have to be careful. I know it's almost November, but tropical season does not let up that soon. It's quite the little trickster. And folks, just make sure you stay safe if you're in Central America. If you happen to be watching FSU weather, make sure you're keeping on track with the National Hurricane Center is going to be giving you all of these advisories. And if we do see another invest or any other sort of tropical storm, it is going to be Martin. But for now, why don't we lighten things up, folks? I know these tropics are strong and we see them all the time here in Florida. We're always worried about them. But I'm really wondering, how is the lifestyle looking? How is it looking for trick-or-treating tonight, Aaron?
Honestly, it is looking fabulous for trick-or-treating tonight if you're going out there, of course. They're out with some candy, perhaps. But currently, it's 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies there across the res. Really beautiful sunset there in store for tonight. Current winds are out of the west at 10 miles per hour. Current temperatures across the broader area, we're seeing much of that cooler area actually probably over towards Bainbridge at 73 degrees. It's not until you get towards actually Monticello where it's 80 degrees there at this current hour. So overall, not bad. A little bit seasonally warm for this time of year, but overall it's not at least terribly warm. Current dew points, a little bit on the muggier side, especially the further south and east you go. So if we highlight here, right here, that's actually the sea breeze boundary making its way in from Appalachia Bay. Over to the northwest, we had that little bit of that influence from that cold front's actually making its way through the area. So there it's a little bit drier as you go make your way over to Donaldsonville. And then Perry is the muggiest spot there in the 60s currently. So for marine forecast, if you're out on the boat tonight, perhaps, it is a light chop, 1 to 2 feet there. Water temperature is 72 degrees, and winds are out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour, and it's currently 76 degrees. So overall, maybe not the best time to be on the boat, but certainly not terrible as we make our way throughout the next several hours. So our trick-or-treat forecast, 70 degrees there tonight and mostly clear. So it actually should be a really pleasant night out there tonight. No need for an extra layer or anything like that, unless it's part of your costume. We'll have to see. And as for our stargazing forecast, currently at least the moon is actually in a waxing, I believe, waxing crescent right now. First quarter. Conditions should be pretty pleasant tonight, so good conditions if you're taking your telescope out perhaps after you go trick-or-treating. And as for your late night Halloween forecast, temperatures for the most part should dip down into the middle 60s overnight. So a little bit of a chill, especially as you get past the midnight hour. By that point, I mean, it's pretty late, at least after that. So as you wrap things up, you might need perhaps a little bit of a bundle there. So as for our dog cheetah here, courtesy of my neighbor back home in Tampa, conditions, at least tomorrow, will actually be pretty nice as we go up into the low 70s by the 11 a.m. hour tomorrow morning. If you're perhaps taking any flights tonight out of Tallahassee International, perhaps some clouds. I wouldn't call it cloudy, but perhaps a few clouds there over the terminal. Tonight, it's currently 80 degrees there at Tallahassee International. And as for delays across much of the nation, none. So really beautiful, perhaps if you are taking that last-minute flight until November tomorrow, where we'll see at least no delays currently weather-wise across much of the airports. Tomorrow's drivecast, we're going to see those temperatures rise up into the low 80s. So you might need perhaps a light jacket if you're walking out the door, but by the time you get into the middle afternoon, it actually is going to be pretty warm there. But as for a weekend planner, we'll see those conditions for the most part remaining pretty much the same with temperatures slightly above average. But I don't know about you, Nico, but I'm honestly looking forward to these weekend temperatures.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to these temperatures as well. It's actually looking really nice, and no tricks tonight because this sunset is a real treat. We got beautiful skies right here. And honestly, the spooky weather spirits have blessed us with some great weather for tonight. Taking a look at our current temperatures, things are pretty nice actually. Most of the Big Bend is in the mid to upper 70s. Monticello is here the warmest at 80, but most of the area is looking really nice for trick-or-treating. You don't even have to put on a layer like Aaron was talking about. But as for our wind speed, we've got a decent breeze here in Tallahassee coming up from the Gulf at 10 miles per hour. Same thing here in Apalachicola, except there it's coming from the west. In Sumatra, we don't have any wind readings, and further north, it's much more calmer. And for our current radar, we do not, this is just some backscatter, perhaps Maybe some bats are coming out tonight to celebrate Halloween, but there's not really any precipitation that we anticipate for tonight. And taking a look at our future radar, same deal. We do not anticipate any sort of showers. We do have some clouds moving in. Maybe it'll bring some fog, add to the vibe of this spooky Halloween night. But for the most part, we actually do not anticipate much of rain or precipitation. As for tonight in Tallahassee, it's going to be pretty nice. It's going to be a really nice night. Going to cool down a little bit, down to 57. It's going to be partly cloudy, and there's going to be a slight breeze from the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour. So it's going to be great conditions for you trick-or-treaters out there. And for tonight's forecast, for the Big Bend region, we're going to be seeing clear skies for most of the region. In Bainbridge, 57, Quincy, 58. Down in Apalachicola, it's going to be a little bit warmer due to that coastal moisture. And here in Tallahassee, it's going to be over at 60 with some clouds in their forecast. For tomorrow's bikecast, things are going to start off really nice at 61 degrees in the morning, and they're going to gradually rise up to a temperature of 81 degrees in the afternoon. So it's not going to be too warm. It's actually going to be really nice for a bike ride if you guys are wanting to do that. And for our hour by hour, as I said, in the morning, it's going to start off pretty cool in the upper 60s, make its way up into the 70s, and by the afternoon, you're going to see temperatures in the low 80s. And for the week ahead, it's going to be an absolutely beautiful week. Low rain chances for most of the week, and temperatures are actually going to dip a little bit down into the upper 50s and then rise up again into the weekend. Now we're going to pass things off to Ale and Nikki for our closing desk.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. Yeah, folks, it's going to be a great night tonight for trick-or-treating, Halloween. What are you doing tonight, Nikki?
I think I might just be staying in and seeing some movies, but would you like to hear my Halloween joke of the day?
Oh my gosh, I love jokes. How did you know?
What is a scarecrow's favorite fruit?
I don't know.
Strawberries.
Oh, wow. Wow, you got me. That's, wow. Props to you, Nikki. That's great.
Thank you.
But folks, we are just in the spirit here. It's just going to be such a great night tonight. I'm just looking forward to it. And yeah, so what have you been up to this weekend, Nikki, for Halloween?
You know, my friend came from Orlando. We went, dressed up, just hung out with friends, really. But did you do anything fun?
I did do many fun things. I actually went to a party this weekend, and it was quite nice. I dressed up as a butterfly. I see you're sporting some antlers or antennas, Nikki?
Yes, I'm currently dressed as an ant, but I did dress up as a butterfly this weekend.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Great minds think alike, folks. You know what else you can be thinking of? Our socials. So if you guys are interested, you can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU Weather, or you can also check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
Yes, certainly, and you can also watch us live on YouTube every weekday at 6 on youtube.com/FSU Weather, and you can also give us a follow on Instagram at FSU Weather.
So, of course, folks, we're looking forward to a fantastic night for great temperatures, great conditions. Go outside, go trick-or-treating, have a great evening. And yeah, I think we're going to leave you guys with our 7-day forecast. And Nikki, do you have anything else you want to tell to everybody watching tonight excited for Halloween?
Oh my gosh, just have a blast, eat some candy, have the time of your life.
Maybe get some Tums for all that candy you guys are going to eat. I know I'm going to need some.
I'm going to have a big sugar rush
I'm going to have a
tonight.
big sugar rush. I'm super excited. But yeah, folks, have a great evening. I'm student meteorologist Alejandra Garcia.
And I'm student meteorologist Nikki Kanakis.
Have a great night, Tallahassee.